Now, law of demand. Law of demand states the inverse relationship between price of the quantity demanded, keeping other factors constant, ceteris paribus. Other factors we already discussed: the determinants of demand, the factors affecting demand, in which they are constant only then this demand will operate. There are certain assumptions of law of demand. Now, which are they? While stating the law of demand, we use the phrase keeping other factors or ceteris paribus. This phrase is used to cover the following assumption on which the law is based. First is, price of the substitute goods do not change. Price of the complementary goods remains constant. Price of consumer Income of the consumer remains the same. Taste and preferences of consumer remains the same. There is no expectation of change in price in future. If these factors will remain constant, then the law of demand will have an inverse relationship between the price of the commodity and the demand of the commodity. There is an inverse relationship between them. Now, next is change in quantity demanded and change in demand. These are two different concepts, students. First of all, I would like to tell you one thing, that when the demand of a commodity increases or decreases due to the increase or decrease in the price of the commodity, that is known as change in quantity demanded, keeping other factors constant. Like here, we can see the change in quantity demanded refers to change in quantity purchased due to the increase or decrease in the price of a product. In this, price of the commodity is changing and other factors are constant, such as price of the related good. PR is the price of the related good, that is price of the substitute goods, and price of the complementary good will remain same. There is no change in that. Income of the consumer is not changing. Taste and preference of the consumer is also not changing, and expectations in change in the price in future is also not there. In that condition, the change in the quantity demanded is affected by the change in the price of the commodity only. Now, change in demand is taking place when demand is increasing or decreasing due to the other factors, and price is constant. There is no change in the price, but still demand is either increasing or decreasing because of the change in the income of the consumer, or because of the change in the price of the substitute good, or because of the change in the price of the complementary good, or because of the change in tastes and preferences of the consumer. Here, now you can see this here. Change in demand refers to increase or decrease in demand of a product due to other factors while keeping price at constant. Other factors are price of the substitute goods, price of the complementary goods, income of the consumer, and taste and preference of the consumer, etc. Now, this will lead, now change in the demand, change in quantity demanded and change in demand will lead to the movement along the demand curve and shift in demand curve. Now, basis, meaning. Meaning of movement along the demand curve. Please listen carefully. When demand of the commodity fluctuates, changes, increases or decreases due to the fluctuation in the price of the commodity, keeping other factors constant. Ceteris paribus, it is called movement along the demand curve. Matlab, when the demand of the commodity changes because of the price and other factors, there is no change, other factors are constant, then it is called movement along the demand curve. On the other hand, shift in demand curve, when the demand of the commodity fluctuates due to the other factors or due to the factors other than the price of the commodity, keeping price constant. And when the demand of the commodity is changing due to the other factors, that is income of the consumer or price of the related good, etc., and there is no change in the price of the commodity, that is constant, price is constant, but change in other factors are leading to the change in the demand of the commodity. Other factors. Next is factors responsible. Here, the main cause of the change in main cause of the movement along the demand curve is price of the commodity. Here, the main reason for the shift in demand curve is other factors such as price of related goods, income of the consumer, taste and preference, etc. Effect on demand curve. It leads to the movement along the same demand curve, either upward. When it is going upward, it is known as contraction in demand. And when it is going downward, then it is known as expansion in demand. And it leads to shift in demand के अंदर it leads to shift in demand curve either rightwards known as increase in demand or leftward known as decrease in demand. Types of change in demand. This is expansion in demand. Matlab, when the price of the commodity is falling and demand is increasing, it is known as expansion in demand. And when the price of the commodity is rising and demand is decreasing, it is known as contraction in demand. And increase in demand and decrease in demand. When demand of the commodity is increasing due to the other factors and price is constant, it is known as increase in demand. And when the demand of the commodity is falling due to the other factors and price is constant, it is known as decrease in demand. And now, next is now we can show this according in the diagram. Diagram is this. This is the movement along the demand curve. Here you can see students, they price at price OP, at the price OP, which is plotted on y-axis. Demand is OM, which is plotted on x-axis. And price now increases from OP to OP1. Price बढ़ गया, price has increased. Now the demand decreased from OM to ON. There is an upward movement. This is the upward movement of the demand curve. See this. This is the upward movement of the demand curve where the demand is falling. It is known as contraction in demand. And here, now the demand is falling from OP to OP0. OP0. Then the demand is increasing from OM to ON. Demand is increasing from OM to ON. And here there is a downward movement along the demand curve. There is a downward movement along the demand curve, and this is known as expansion in demand. This is what is expansion in demand. Here in shift in demand curve, there is no change in the taking place in the price of the commodity, but still the demand curve, the original demand curve is this. Original demand curve is this, where the quantity demanded at price OP is quantity demanded is OQ1. And due to the change in other factors, either in the increase in the income of the consumer, the demand of the commodity increases, and the demand increases from OQ to OQ1, OQ to OQ1, and demand curve shifts from D to D1. Demand curve shifts from D to D1. There is a rightward shift in the demand curve. And again, there is a leftward shift due to the, again, a change in the other factors, and price is constant. Price is constant at OP. Demand is falling from OQ to OQ2, and there is a leftward shift in the demand curve. This is what is the movement along the demand curve and shift in demand curve. This is what is we are going to do today. Thank you very much.